Hi, everyone. Are you enrolled in the prescription drug plan that's best for you? If you picked a plan 3 or 4 years ago, you may find that you can save a fair amount of money by shifting to a new Part D plan. Most low-cost generic drugs are covered by all plans, but there may only be a few plans that cover non-preferred generic drugs or expensive brand name drugs. So if an individual is taking a brand name drug, it's important to verify that the drug is included in the plan's formulary. The most effective way to ensure that drugs are covered is through the Medicare Plan Finder at medicare.gov. So let's get started. Make a list of your current medication, including strength and daily frequency. As we go through the Plan Finder, feel free to pause the video if you need more time between the steps. So let's start off by going to medicare.gov. If a window pops up saying something like make the most of your Medicare, you can go ahead and press the escape key on your keyboard to close it. Let's scroll down to Find 2021 Health and Drug Plans and click on that box. And for our purposes today, we're going to enroll without logging in. There's no need to create an account, but if you do, the Plan Finder will use your prior history to put prescription drugs on your drug list and save any changes that you make. In answer to the question, what type of 2021 coverage are you looking for? Well, we're looking for a drug plan, so click that second box, enter your zip code, click continue. The county where you live will automatically populate under the zip code. In answer to the question, do you get help with your costs from one of these programs? If you don't receive assistance, go ahead and click that last box at the bottom, I don't get help from any of these programs, and then click next. Do you want to see drug cost when you compare plans? Yes, we do. And for our purposes today, I'm going to click on Retail Pharmacy for pricing. Go ahead and click next. Now we get to begin to add our drugs, medications to the Plan Finder. So the first drug that I'm going to add is simvastatin. I'm going to just start off typing it, and then you'll notice that simvastatin is automatically going to populate right underneath the box where I was typing. So because that is the drug I want, I'll go ahead and click, and then I'm going to add the drug, and then I'm going to choose the correct dosage by pressing on the arrow, the down arrow button on the right-hand side of the window. Let's say that I need a 10 milligram tablet, and I take it once per day, so 30 per month is correct. And then go ahead and click Add to my drug list. And let's go ahead and add a brand name drug as well. So again, we'll go to Find and Add Drug in this box right here, and click. And now I'm going to add brand name Synthroid. And again, as soon as I start typing, all the drugs that start with the first few letters are going to populate, and all I have to do is choose the one I want, add the drug. Now Windows is alerting me to the fact that there's a lower cost drug that's comparable to Synthroid or a generic drug, and they're asking me if I want to keep the brand name drug or if I want pricing for the lower cost drug. Let's see, let's just keep the brand name instead. Now we'll go in and we'll choose our correct dosage. We'll say we take 88 micrograms once per day, and let's add that to our drug list. Now you'll continue on and add any other drugs that you may be taking, and this can take a little while depending on how many you have. So go ahead and pause the video, and then you can come back and join us when your drug list is complete. So once all of our drugs are on the list, let's click on Done Adding Drugs. And now the Plan Finder wants to know what pharmacy we want to use. When I do referrals, I always like to include a CVS and a Walgreens. Chances are one of those pharmacies is going to receive preferred pricing. And then I'll click on Done. Now the next page is automatically going to tell me which plan is going to be the best plan for me to enroll in. You'll notice that the plans are sorted by the lowest drug and premium cost. And because they are sorted by cost, the first plan listed is going to be the lowest cost plan that'll cover my drugs. So in this case, it's SilverScript Smart RX PDP. PDP stands for Prescription Drug Plan. Now let's go in and take a look at some of the details by clicking on Plan Details. So it starts off with an overview. The monthly premium is going to be $7.30, and the plan deductible is going to be $445. I should also mention at this point that most generic drugs are exempt from the deductible. So in most cases, you'll only have to deal with the deductible for more expensive generic drugs or for brand name drugs. Then we're going to go down and it's going to look at the drug coverage and cost. So this is according to tier level. So drugs that are preferred generic, you'll have no copay at all with this particular plan. You may have a copay with another plan, but this plan is telling us that it's a $0 copay. Maybe generic drugs that haven't been out there quite as long as some of the preferred generic drugs are going to cost $19 per month. Preferred brand, $46, and etc. down the line. Non-preferred, $45. Specialty tier, $25. She's telling me that out of the two pharmacies that I included, CVS is going to get preferred pricing. So that's the pricing that we want to pay attention to. Now with CVS, sure enough, simvastatin is a preferred generic drug, and so I'm not going to pay anything for that. It's a very low-cost drug, and so I'll basically go into the pharmacy every month and come out with a $0 copay. Synthroid, however, is a brand name drug, and so I'm going to pay $41.55 each month during the deductible until the deductible is paid. Now, the way to know when that deductible is going to be paid is through the estimated total drug and premium cost, and this is broken down by month. So as I look at this, I can see that I'm going to pay $41.55 each month until the deductible is paid, which is not going to occur until October of the plan year. November and December, I'll get a little bit of a break, but basically, if I want to take a brand name drug, I'm going to pay more than if it was generic. So we don't even need to look at Walgreens pricing for our purposes today. Now the next section is what tier assignment the drugs are on. So simvastatin is tier 1 preferred generic, and it's also telling me that Synthroid is a tier 4 drug, and so I'm going to pay a percentage of that cost. You'll also notice that there's quantity limits for simvastatin. And then here are the drugs that I've included. It's stating the star rating for the plan, which has a lot to do with customer service, depending on how long people will wait on hold if they call the customer service line or how helpful they were. So if we go back up and we're looking at our drug cost and under our drug list, we decide that we want to actually see what the generic pricing is going to be for Synthroid. So we can click on this button right here where it says Edit, Remove Drugs. We'll right click, and then we're going to look at Synthroid, and we're going to change that to a generic brand. So find and add drugs, and we'll add Synthroid. Again, it automatically populates. Click, add drug, and now this time I'm going to ask it to add a generic drug called levothyroxine sodium, and we'll change our dosage to 88 micrograms, and we'll add that to our drug list. Now, because I've added generic levothyroxine sodium, I'm going to remove Synthroid. So now I have two drugs. Both of them are generic, so chances are I'm going to save a little bit of money by doing this. I'm going to say I'm done adding drugs. I've already got my Walgreens and CVS in the system. Click done. And it's the same plan, but now let's take a look at what our copays will be. By clicking on plan details right here. Same information in the overview, the monthly premium, the deductible amount, same cost chart. So now if I go to CVS Pharmacy, I'm not going to pay anything for either of my drugs. Levothyroxine sodium is going to be $0 and simvastatin is going to be a $0 copay. So I can essentially go into the pharmacy and walk out with no cost at all. And we go down and we see that the estimated monthly drug cost is $0. Walgreens, we don't need to pay too much attention to Walgreens. So keep in mind that you can change your Part D plan at open enrollment that runs through October 15th through December 7th each year. New plans will start on January 1 of the following year. So that's a quick overview of the Medicare Plan Finder. To learn more, visit medicare.gov and be sure to check out our other Medicare videos at ismaia.com.